2017 was a great year for the city of Marysville. A lot of things happened on many fronts, including the 33 Innovation Park, which I cannot say enough of what a game changer is for the city and for its future.
2017 was an exciting and a busy year for the Marysville Division of Police. During 2017, we achieved full certification with the Ohio Collaboration. That was the first time we have done that. But if you really need something and you need assistance now, police department's in operation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So council has been very supportive of pavement rating over the past few years. That's something that we've put a lot of effort into, and we feel like we're making great strides in that.
For the 2018 budget, it's fully balanced, and there's appropriations of $58.7 million. In terms of that allocation, $14 million is actually going into infrastructure spending for the capital improvement plan.
I'm pleased to report that the state of the city has never been stronger. Part of the reason the city has strengthened over the past year is the establishment of 9 strategic priorities that the administration and city council worked on back in 2016. Those 9 strategic priorities have been a major focus of all of our executive staff and our employees of the city of Marysville. The first being public finance. Under the leadership of Justin Navi, our public finances are extremely strong, and that includes our enterprise fund management. The enterprise funds of the city of Marysville are strong as well, and those include our water, sewer, stormwater, and sanitation funds among some of those enterprise funds.
For the 2017 fiscal year, the city ended up in an incredibly strong position. The ending cash balance in the general fund was $6.4 million, which was in excess of the $5.5 million that we target annually for that fund itself. In terms of revenue, the city received $18.8 million in income tax receipts, which is the highest ever recorded. On top of that, for the capital plan itself, we allocated $4.7 million, of which we were able to forego borrowing $2.7 million, which incredibly helps out the taxpayers in terms of debt service. With regards to the enterprise funds for the city, these funds are fully self-supported and they're fully imbalanced. And when considering the cash flows for these funds, we have no long-term expectations to actually have to increase rates, which is an incredible proposition for the ratepayers within the city limits. In terms of transparency, another initiative that the city participated in is the Ohio Checkbook Program, which allows taxpayers to actually see how the city spends taxpayer dollars on an annual basis. We began that for the 2016 fiscal year, and we'll continue doing that on an annual basis going forward. Last item that's a great significance for the city is we received 3 awards for financial and budget reporting. 1 award for a clean audit from the Auditor of State, another award from the GFOA for financial reporting, and a 3rd award also from the GFOA for budget presentation. The big item for 2018 itself is infrastructure itself, either it be paving, roadway extensions between State Route 31 and State Route 4, or the expansion of the State Route 31 roadway itself to ease congestion. The last major infrastructure initiative is the Smart Mobility and Connected Marysville projects, which should be completed by the end of 2018 itself.
Economic development is another area that we've excelled in over the past year and look to excel in moving into 2018. Eric Phillips, our Economic Development Director, has done a fantastic job in the area of economic development, and we look forward to some major projects coming to Marysville in 2018.
When I think back, in 2015, we completed our economic development strategy, and it made no mention of a smart corridor, of smart technology when it comes to transportation. One of the major accomplishments, of course, is Northwest 33 Innovation Corridor, the project that we've been working on for the last year and a half. And so it's exciting to see something to go 0 to 60 in about a year and a half. And now, with the corridor and the investments that are being made in 17, the fiber was laid between I-270 and the Transportation Research Center. Another fiber, more fiber, was laid between Scottslawn and 161. And so we have a ton of fiber now being laid. Next year, going forward, we will see the remainder of the fiber being constructed, and so we'll have a full redundant loop of fiber along the 33 corridor. The park, when completed, is going to be overall a $10 million investment, but it's going to open up 200 acres to industrial, advanced manufacturing, R&D, and also focus on the smart mobility realm to attract those companies that are interested in the corridor. The Northwest 33 Innovation Council of Governments that was recently created has really proven to be a great vehicle to bring partners together. It was put together with the City of Dublin, City of Marysville, Union County, and the Marysville Union County Port Authority. That group has actually only been in existence less than a year, yet is now becoming a leader not only in the region but also in Ohio in this smart mobility corridor. So the 33 corridor is exciting, and what it means to us as residents, at some point all our vehicles will be connected into an environment where you will have queue warning systems or warning systems in your car that will tell you when a stop sign's in front of you, that will tell you when a traffic signal is in front of you, that will actually tell the dispatchers or tell the transportation department or the service department that roads are slick. Today, we have to wait on a police officer or a sheriff deputy to report that the roads are icy. In the future, cars will collect data. That data will be shared with the service department or with the transportation department, and therefore they would send out a snowplow. And so a lot of this technology is going to move quickly, but it's going to allow opportunities for us as drivers, as citizens of this community. What's even more exciting about this is the fact that Marysville, once we have all 27 traffic signals installed with DSRCs and smarter signals, we will be the first rural community in the world to be fully connected. We are also blessed to have 22 Japanese companies in Union County. This year we took a mission, and when I say we, it was Mayor Roush, City Manager Emery, and Commissioner Charles Hall, who all traveled to Japan on three items that we wanted to perform. One, we visited 7 of our companies that are located, almost a third of our companies in the county were visited. We attended the Midwest U.S.-Japan Conference, and then we also visited our friendship city, Yorimachi, in Japan, and had a great visit with Mayor Hanawa and his staff, and those close ties are very important. We've also Honda has also made investments in its painting facility. Although not in the city of Marysville, it's close by, and Honda and Marysville are synonymous. The $200 million investment they've made in their painting facility is another commitment from Honda into their facilities here at the Marysville Auto Plant, and the future looks bright from that perspective. We've also had other major companies that have been successful over the year, whether it's Scott's or Nestle or Parker or Continental. They've all been great companies to call Marysville home. We look forward to the success of our businesses going forward. We've also seen a lot of growth and development and improvement in Uptown Marysville. Uptown Marysville today is better than it's been in many, many years. We've seen 2 new restaurants recently open up or being proposed to open up the Uptown area, and it's a very vibrant area going forward. The pavilion that city has done, as well as the other investments made by the city and the county, have also led to some rebirth in Uptown Marysville. We also are excited about the opportunities for Team Marysville and the citizen and business group that's working closely with the city. The other thing that I think in Marysville and in the county as a whole, there's one area that I think we excel in, and that's our educational system. We have one of the best K-12 educational systems countywide in the state of Ohio, and we should always be proud to recognize that and to accept that and also to tell everyone about that. But we do give thanks to our great leaders in the educational system that have made a difference, because it's critical to our future. Workforce development is something that is a critical issue to Marysville and Union County. We have to find the workers of tomorrow, and that is through STEM education. That's through advanced manufacturing facilities at Tolles and Tri-Rivers, as well as at the STEM school here in Marysville. We need to continue to look for ways to partner with our school district going forward.
Parks and Recreation is another one of our strategic priorities, and we were able to complete a Parks and Recreation master plan in 2017, which really lays the course for where we're going to proceed with Parks and Recreation planning into the future.
In 2004, the city purchased a 56-acre parcel called the Macgyver Woods Tract. This property has a conservation easement attached to it. Until recently, this property has been inaccessible to the public. The property was previously owned by Dr. Macgyver, who, before his passing, granted a conservation easement over the property. His wishes were that it would stay undeveloped and preserved. This summer, we were able to work with the entity that holds the conservation easement on the property. We worked with them to create a natural stone path through the property, which provides access to the public.
Public infrastructure. Our street program, our current street program, is effective as I've ever seen in a community. Under the leadership of Mike and Draco, our public service director, our street program is again going to be receiving $1.5 million to improve our streets, not only in 2017, but in 2018 as well.
The way we track pavement condition is we rate the streets annually. We drive every street every year. It's about 100 miles of pavement that we drive. They're rated from a scale of 0 to 100, 100 being best. We're most focused on the streets that rate 60 or lower. Those are poor streets. So we're trying to reduce the amount of poor streets that we have in the city. In 2014, we had 15% of our streets were in poor condition. Our most recent rating a few weeks ago, we reduced that to 9%.
Quality customer service. That is another area that is going to be a prime focus because we always want to make sure we're meeting the needs of the citizens of Marysville. Community appearance. Community appearance is something that is very important to us. Working on the entry features, on park entry areas and other areas that are important to the city as far as the aesthetics is something that we're going to be continuing to work on in the next year. Communication and branding. You'll see that as we continue to improve our signage, entry signage into the city as well as our park signage, you'll see that our branding of our Marysville logo will continue to be put out there for the public to recognize when you're coming into the corporation limits of Marysville. And you've seen an example of that on the Scotts Lawn Road Bridge that was completed in 2017. And last but not least is community safety. You know, our police and fire departments do an exceptional job of protecting our citizens and responding in times of need, and we'll continue to enhance those areas to make sure that the citizens are safe and our community is safe.
In 2017, we again had a record number of fire and EMS runs. This is up 25% over the last 5 years. We keep seeing more and more EMS runs, and that's what we anticipated.
2017 was an exciting and a busy year for the Marysville Division of Police. The Patrol Bureau handled 18,473 calls for service during 2017. A call for service could be a disabled vehicle, it could be a sick person, it could be a person that was broke down along the highway, any number of things. Out of those 18,000 calls for service, we had 2,396 incident reports, and out of those incident reports, that was a 5% increase over the same time period of 2016. Our Investigations Bureau consists of a sergeant and 4 detectives. In 2017, these 5 officers handled 327 criminal investigations. And the 327 case investigations we had in 2017 in the investigations section was a 7% increase over 2016. One thing to note is that of these 327 investigations, our detectives had a clearance rate of 92%, which is an excellent clearance rate.
This year we were able to initiate a fire and police dive team. This dive team is going to be essentially needed for us for the future for the Upground Reservoir, now that we have recreational use there.
And the reason for having police officers on this team is that they can also be used for the recovery of evidence in the event of a crime.
It's also going to be responsive to anywhere in Union County. We're really fortunate to be able to partner with the police department so that we were able to have a total of 10 divers between firefighters and police officers to be able to get the training and get the equipment needed to be operational.
A program that we're going to have technology-wise in 2018 are police body cameras. You know, there's been a lot of talk about agencies, whether it's a good thing or not a good thing. We think that it will benefit our agency as well as the citizens to have an accurate accounting of what happens.
We were able to see over 4,500 children speaking about fire safety this year. This included a fire and police academy that we held at Maven Elementary in June of this year. It was a great experience for all involved, and we were able to reach about 40 kids.
2017 was the first full year that we had a Community Services Bureau. And the idea behind it is community-oriented policing. And we want that to be a division-wide program, but we're starting out with one bureau. In this bureau, we have 3 school resource officers and a sergeant that oversees that. In 2017, we were able to add an additional school resource officer due to collaboration between us and the Marysville Exempted Village School District.
We're also working in 2018 with an additional consultant to work on our staffing, personnel, organizational structure, and stations. What we want to do is prepare ourselves for the future. The growth of the community is our biggest challenge. With that growth, we want to be prepared to address those issues and be responsive to the emergency needs of the community. We hope that this consultant will help us work through those challenges and have us prepared for the next 10 years.
So enhancing the quality of life for our citizens and the continued enhancement of that quality of life is going to be a major focus in 2018, and I look forward to serving as your city manager.